of the May-June 2022 Integrated Science Paper 1. Let's start the first of 60 questions. The most important reason for ensuring that the baby is fed the milk her mother produces during the first 3 to 4 days of lactation is that this milk gives the baby protection against infections. Question 2, antibodies are important in the human body because they protect against diseases. Antibodies is part of the immune system. Which of the following structures is responsible for energy production in an animal cell? We have to be talking about the mitochondria. Which part of the flower forms the seed after fertilization? This is question 4. And we are answering A, ovule. Item 5 refers to the following diagrams, which display seeds under different conditions in 4 test tubes plugged with cotton wool. You see the cotton wool labeled on top here. In which test tube is germination most likely to take place? So we know we need our water for germination to happen. So we have to be looking at moist cotton wool. We see this one is dry, and this one is sealed up. Yeah, this one is at 0 degrees Celsius, and this one is a nice 28 degrees Celsius. So we are going with 2, which is B for question number 5. Question 6, which of the following organisms is not a microbe? So we want the one that is not. Viruses, fungi, bacteria, it will be bedbugs. I want a giveaway mark. Which of the following refers to the method of planting in which crops are grown in alternating bands? So it means every season of crop replanting, you are switching them. And that is crop rotation. What is the name of the structure labeled Y in item 8? That is the nucleus it's pointing to, so the answer is A. Question 9, during menstruation, the lining of the uterus is shed. So we're going with B for question 9. Question 10, which of the following shapes describes molar teeth? Pointed, no, rounded, flat topped, chisel. Yeah, flat top is the best description there. Which of the following occurs during inhalation at the area labeled X on the diagram, which is the chest? We know the chest moves up and out and the ribs are under there. So we are going with the ribs move upward. It's an inhalation they asked you about. So 11A. 12, which of the following are common features of respiratory surfaces? Must be moist, small surface area. No, you want a high surface area or a large surface area. Well supplied with blood vessels. So 1 and 3, that is B. Question 13, which of the following types of drugs are used to get rid of water from the human body? Stimulants, hormones, sedatives, diuretics. Item 14 refers to the following diagram of the skeletal system. The bone labeled X is the humerus. It's in the upper arm. Question 15, which of the following best describes natural and artificial light? Natural changes color, no. Produced from radiation, intensity is easily adjusted, contains all the colors of the visible spectrum. Yes, look, we find it there. And when we go over to the artificial side, intensity is easily adjusted. That is correct. B is our answer. Which of the following are significant sources of air pollution? Question 16, we have number 1, oil spill. Number 2, volcanic eruptions. Number 3, extensive use of cars. So volcanic eruptions and extensive use of cars is for the air. Oil spills is for the water. So we're going with 2 and 3, which puts the answer at C. A hinge joint is found at the knee. There's a giveaway mark there. Which of the following statements about respiration is true? This is a popular question. Take your time, read the whole question, and see that C is the answer. Aerobic respiration requires oxygen, while anaerobic respiration does not require oxygen. Up to number 19, which of the following processes are associated with excretion by the kidneys? We have filtration or ultrafiltration, no evaporation, we have selective reabsorption. So 1 and 3, that puts the answer for 19 at B. Question 20, the amount of water entering the tissues of the body is controlled by, if we're talking about the control of water, we're talking about osmoregulation. Item 21 refers to the following diagram, which shows several structures in the eye. Cataracts will most likely develop in a structure labeled 1, the lens, which is A. Item 22 refers to the following diagram, which shows the 4 stages labeled 1 to 4 in the life cycle of a mosquito. Which number represents the larval stage? We have the egg, where the adult that lays the egg goes to the larva, then to the pupa. So 2 is the larva. We are going with B for 22. The 3 small bones found in the middle ear of the human being are called ossicles. Which of the following can be caused by the improper disposal of solid waste, the spread of disease, contamination of the soil, creation of pest breeding grounds? All of them. All of them. So 1, 2, and 3. So 24 is D25. Which of the following organisms is a parasite? We have a fly, a rat, tick, a cockroach, and we are going with C, the tick. Question 26. Which of the following energy conversions takes place during the process of photosynthesis? We have light going to chemical, yes. D for 26. Which of the following correctly matches the type of bulb with its characteristic? We have a filament, brightness is easily controlled. That's true. But just read through the rest of answers. LED contains mercury, no. Filament saves energy, no. LED emits a lot of heat, no. So A is in fact the correct answer. Item 28 refers to the following diagram showing methods of heat transfer. The method of heat transfer through the metal rod is that hand is in contact with the metal rod, so it is conduction. Item 29 and 30 refers to the following safety equipment. Which equipment makes a person walking on the side of the road visible to motorists? That is the safety vest. So 29 is C. We'll just write that in. 29 is C. Question 30. Which equipment protects a person from toxic fumes? You want a respirator or respirators? That answer is B. Item 31 refers to the following diagram, which shows the electricity meter reading for the end of February and the end of March. So we have them here. What is the electricity usage for the period between the end of February and the end of March? So looking at the numbers, we see that March is higher than February. March is 42,410 kilowatts per hour, and February the meter is reading 26,923 kilowatts per hour. So you just have to subtract one from the other. Obviously, the March, we have the March, you subtract the February from it, and you will get 15,487. A. The unit for current is the ampere. Item 33 refers to the following diagram showing a pair of tongs. In which of the labeled position is the effort usually applied? We are assuming everyone is using these tongs the same way. So we are applying the effort right here at B. 33 is B. A fire extinguisher that contains water should not be used on a bushfire, a chemical fire, an electric fire. A bushfire is fine, a chemical fire, you may not know which type of chemical it is. An electric fire, you shouldn't be using water. So 2 and 3, that puts it at C.
Item 35 refers to the following diagram of a forearm. The diagram is an example of a simple wet clothes most likely to dry quickly under conditions of high temperature and low humidity. So 36 is C. Question 37. Which of the following are properties of aluminum alloys that make them suitable for the manufacture of aircraft and boats? They are light, strong, expensive. We want to take the first two, light and strong, or 1 and 2 only. 37 is A. 38, the word equation that describes the reaction between aluminum and hydrochloric acid is, we need to make a salt and hydrogen, so A is the answer. 38 is A. The rusting of iron is an example of oxidation. This is a very, very well-known oxidation example. Brass is a mixture of copper and zinc. It's an alloy. Which of the following is not an advantage of using aluminum to make cooking pots? Aluminum is a soft metal. Aluminum is easy to clean. Aluminum pots are light to handle. Aluminum is a good heat conductor. That would be A, one that is not. A substance X has a pH of 2. This means that X is an acid. C. 43. Which of the following chemicals removes nail polish? This is a popular one, acetone. Hard water is referred to as water that is frozen, contains alcohol, contains a lot of chemicals, does not easily form with soap. D is the answer for 44. On to 45. Soapless detergents differ from soapy detergents mainly because soapy detergents are biodegradable. Yes, they are. Soapless detergents are highly insoluble. Soapy detergents are made from petroleum. That's actually wrong. Soapless detergents are manufactured from fats and oils. No, they're soapy. So the answer is A for 45. Item 46 and 47 refer to the following diagram of the solar system. We see they left out some things here. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Earth is labeled, went through that just now. Earth is the third planet from the sun. Earth is labeled 2, so that is B. 46 is B. 47, Venus is labeled, well, we know Venus is before Earth in the line. So Venus is 1, so Venus is A. Going on to 48. Decayed organic matter in soil is called humus. The installation of low-flow shower heads and taps is a method of water conservation because it involves using water-saving devices. Question 50. A non-moving boundary between two air masses is called stationary front. Is non-moving, so it doesn't move. Which of the following is not a fossil fuel. Coal, biomass, well, biomass jumps out right for us right there. Item 52 refers to the following image of an eclipse. We have the sun, we have the earth, we have the moon. So this line already tells you it's a lunar eclipse, and they do tell you in the diagram eclipse moon. So we know it's a lunar eclipse. The whole moon is within the umbra, so we know that's a total lunar eclipse. So C is our answer for 52. Question 53. Which of the following methods involves the settling of heavy suspended material? That is sedimentation. 54. Which of the following air masses is typically found over the Caribbean Sea? And that will be empty, maritime, tropical. It's really awesome. It's really easier to learn this via the letters. Yeah. So just know the Caribbean is empty. Question 55. The increased pressure encountered by divers at large depths below sea level can affect the ears. Which of the following is not a water safety device? Inflatable balloon. Question 57. Which of the following diagrams represent an object in stable equilibrium? Stable means it has a nice base. That is the pyramid. Which of the following is not associated with the use of fossil fuels? Erosion, that's the washing away of soil. So that's already the answer there for 58A. Item 59 refers to the following diagram, which represents the passage of air through the engine of a jet plane. The direction in which the plane is moving. So air is going in and coming out, therefore the plane is moving in the opposite direction. So the plane moving from Y to X, which is B. Final question. Country X experiences an earthquake and there was minimal damage to buildings. The Richter scale reading would most likely be, if it was 1, then that's too low. 3 is barely enough to do anything. 5 is more like it's minimal damage to buildings. It will be 5, which is about minimum damage to buildings is a 4.5 to 5.5, so that falls into that. And 7 is a major earthquake, right? So the final answer for this paper is C. And that's the completion of the exam.